YouTube stream is actually gonna start when you push test. So
where is test at?
Test is up here.
Okay.
Alright, so when you get ready to actually go on, you're gonna click live.
Right.
And then the same thing's gonna ask you, you want to go live 5 seconds, confirm. And then down here it's gonna say stream countdown. Stream is live.
Okay. And when you go, does he have commercials built in?
Let me see. He has any other commercials on here.
Okay.
Let's see.
And it'll automatically go back live, or I mean?
Yeah, it'll automatically go back
okay.
live. So just hit that.
And I should leave that alone.
Yeah, just leave that alone.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
We need to keep up with balls and strikes and everything here.
You don't have to, just outs.
Okay.
Maybe you want to, you can, but normally we just do outs.
How do you get back to that?
So game, that's where it's gonna be, and then just whenever they get out, just click that.
And know how the scoreboard working.
Yeah, the balls and strikes should be up there.
Okay. Well, I don't have to keep this, do I?
No, you don't have to worry about that. Someone's gonna handle that.
Right.
So then, really, all you have to worry about is
just hit
runs. You don't have to worry about hits or errors and stuff like that. But yeah, let me change that.
And the top bracket's a home team, correct?
I believe so. Let's see. What's the
Okay, and Bevill State.
Yeah, the bracket. The Bevill State's gonna be visitors teams. I think the teams in the third base dugout is gonna be the home team.
Okay.
Bevill State. And the Bears. Bases, and then on a base, just click on that.
Okay.
It'll turn yellow on the screen. It'll be white.
All right.
And you're ready to put this on. Just matter of fact, you just keep this on right now. Just hit overlay, and just leave that up.
Leave that there.
Yeah, just leave that there. And then
may have you after this game, before the next game coming.
Yeah, I'll
fix all that.
We'll get the other things done.
I appreciate that.
playing it again, huh?
I swear it's 49. I got it on my phone.
Is that the only song on their queue list right now?
Pick it up on my phone. Did you get a picture?
Yes. It's actually every day.
I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. Because I swear it's 49. I was like, wait. What are y'all doing? Extreme loud. Easy? Easy? It's like, because I'm just gonna hide behind here. And I was like, yeah, everybody's looking at me with a microphone.
Glad I was just tasked with taking a picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do multiple slots at once.
Okay.
With it, it's like 149 a year.
So if you just have two different cameras,
No, this is like
can you
Like-
use two cameras? Could you use like put one in the outfield and so you could have us be?
that's just like a transition. Like I have to load up the next scene. Like I got
I got you.
the final,
Uh-huh.
and then you just hit transition. And it'll play the little score tickers is through a website called Keep the Score.
Uh-huh.
So like from the dugout, our manager, he'll be on the iPad and he'll do the ball strikes, players on base, and it'll automatically.
Kind of like Game Changer, but
But if it'll go through on our screen.
And it goes through here. This technology.
So yeah, it's just been working pretty good so far.
Any cost to
It was on number 48.
No.
oh. Well, we'll do it for tomorrow. We got it for tomorrow.
49. 49 for tomorrow.
No, 48 for
Oh,
tomorrow.
48.
Yeah, 49
Get it.
was today and it didn't work.
Ah.
Weather's beautiful.
If that's our only problem,
We're in good shape.
yeah.
It's Ryan's fault.
That's right.
Are you announcing and
No, I'm just doing JockJive.
okay? So I think I'm keeping the book. Does anybody else want to keep the book and the scoreboard?
I don't know.
All right.
I hadn't heard.
Well, I'm gonna keep the book and the scoreboard.
All right.
But you're announcing on live, whatever, right?
Yes.
On Jock, yeah.
Yeah, on JockJive. Right. Yeah. Where is the picture out here?
Bevill. Let's see, 'cause telling you, it's getting harder and harder, isn't it?
I mean, it's $20 a game. Is what they say. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not crap, but it's not
Right.
terrible.
Right.
Game time temperature today here in Alabaster is 80 degrees. Bonus exit 84 is 73% for humidity today. Foul ball at play, Eagles head. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2024 NJCAA Division II South District Championship here at the beautiful Veterans Park in Alabaster, Alabama. This tournament will go on through Sunday, and this is the first game of the bracket of the day at the 2 o'clock game here on Field 1. And like I said, we'll have the Central Alabama Lions, I believe they are, in Bevill State. Coming in, Central Alabama, the #1 seed in this tournament. They led the conference with a 28-4 record, 37-15 overall. Bevill State 15-16 conference record and 33-20 overall. We got the first pitch of the game in the field for Central Alabama. Pitcher Hardy Irwin, and behind the plate is Campbell Hecklinski. And 2 balls, no strikes. As a leadoff batter, that's Allie Keaton, the designated player, stands in. And 3-0 as that one's a little bit outside, gets away from Hecklinski, the catcher. A little bit of nerves probably early on here for Irwin as we get things underway here at Alabaster Park. And Irwin outside there. Now it makes it 3-1, I believe. Scoreboard's blocked with the cover over the stands over on our home side. So we'll do the best we can as Keaton fouls that one back. Bevill State mentioned 15-16 in conference play, 33-20. They played Central Alabama 2 games already this year, and Central Alabama was victorious in those games. Bevill State has scored 382 runs on the season as that pitch hits the outside corner for our first strikeout of the game. Irwin masterfully hit that outside corner. And now stepping to the plate will be Caitlin Chappell, the first baseman for Bevill State. First pitch down and away. Second pitch chopped over to third. Third throws it over to first to make the out, make our second out of the game. That was Kelby Johnson over to Brooke Milner. 5-3. And now coming to the plate will be Bailey Webb, the third baseman for Bevill State, with 2 outs. First pitch outside, ball 1. Second pitch fouled off down the left side. Milner batted .386 this season. She pops this one up to shallow right field. It's caught, and that'll be 3 outs. for Central Alabama. No runs, no hits, no runners left standing as we move to the bottom of the first. Back at Alabaster Park here on JockJive.com. Jason Pullman here. If you'd like to give a shout out throughout this game to anybody, any player related to these two teams, text my number at 256-310-5673 as the first pitch to Campbell Hecklinski, the catcher for Central Alabama, is ball one a little bit outside. Pitcher for Bevill State is Kyla Edmondson. That pitch is a little bit outside, but right there on the outside of the corner for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff batter, Hecklinski. Hecklinski batted .394 this season. 17 doubles, 69 hits, 32 RBIs, and 30 walks. 55 stolen bases. My goodness, that's a lot, as they like to get her on where she can get in scoring position quickly. Here's a slapper over to right field. Gets in the 3-4 hole there, so leading off with a single is Campbell Hecklinski. Now coming to play is Jaden Buff, the center fielder, number 28. Buff batted .279 this season, 22 RBIs, 50 walks, led the team in walks, as stealing the base there is Hecklinski. Already she's making an impact for this Trojan team. Pitch inside for strike, right down the middle rather. The winner of this game will move on to advance to play tonight at 7 o'clock between the winner of South Florida and Bishop State. Here's a sacrifice bunt to move the runner over to third. And so Chapel does her job. And now coming to plate is Morgan Brewer, the left fielder. She'll wear number 7. Hecklinski at third with 1 out. Ball 1. Got a nice breeze coming through the glass here at Alabaster Park. Here's a shot in the gap, left center gap, and Hecklinski will score. So Brewer gets the RBI on the single. Hecklinski using her speed, stole second base, advanced to third on the sacrifice, and then the single by Brewer scores a run. Now batting for the Trojans, number 22, Brooke Milner. She's the first baseman. She fouls first pitch off over towards the third base coach. There's Edmondson low for ball two. Ball two, strike one, one out. As we're in the bottom of the first, Central Alabama just got the first run of the game. Hecklinski came around to score. Now pitch inside for ball three. 3-1 count. His hitters count here for Brooke Milner, who this season batted .386, 56 RBIs, 9 home runs, and 46 walks. As she is walked, and now advancing over to second will be Brewer. So Brewer's in scoring position, still with one out, and now coming to the plate will be Kelby Johnson, the third baseman. Kelby wears number 8 for these Trojans. Runners at first and second, one out. Here's the pitch, inside, ball one. Another pitch inside, ball two. Good looking pitch there by Edmondson, just missed inside. Pitch down the middle for strike one. Johnson sets up off the plate a good bit. Pitch foul off. 2-2 count, one out. Here at beautiful Alabaster Park, renovations are completed and it looks good. My team, I coached back years ago, played in one of the first tournaments when this park was built. And somebody told me the other day, well, they just redid it. And I'm like, well, it was new just yesterday. And it seemed like yesterday when the park was new. And they really do a good job at City of Alabaster keeping this park up, and always have. And now with the renovations here with artificial turf and a lot of concrete added here, as that pitch fouled off, it put the icing on the cake on this park. Just an absolute beautiful park. I remember in between games, I believe my boys were 8 and 9 at the time when we played over here. They would get up there on the hill by that flagpole and just in between games and have a ball up there. They got wore out, I guess, in between games. But just a lot of memories made here. We won a couple fall state championships here. So just a beautiful park, beautiful area. Not bad to get to right off the interstate 65 as you're heading south out of Birmingham going towards Montgomery. Here's Edmondson with 2-2 count, one out. Another one fouled off. I will say we lost a lot of shade. Lost a lot of shade here at the park as a lot of the trees were removed and some turf put down. There's another foul ball as she's fouled about 3 off to the left side and 1 to the right side. So battling here is Johnson. Johnson, sophomore infielder, had 13 home runs, 58 RBIs, 36 walks, and batted .431, so a very good hitter for this Trojan team. Her and Brewer, who had the RBI earlier, that stands at second, back and forth on batting average this year for the Trojans. Pitch inside for ball 4 as that loads the bases up for my girl Blair Darby, the right fielder from Mumford, Alabama. Coached her when she was in the 7th grade in basketball, and look at her now. Got a sister, Taylor, that is having her orientation at Auburn today, and now here's Blair at the plate with bases loaded in the conference South District Championship Tournament, Game 1, as she takes ball 1. Magnificent family, and sister and a younger brother, Mark, who plays baseball at Lincoln. Had a great year this year I believe he's a freshman this year, and now pitching coach, or the coach is coming out to give Edmondson a rosin bag. And Blair off the plate, working on her swing while the umpire gets his stuff together, as Edmondson now ready to pitch. We got ball 1, 1 out, bases loaded. Brewers at third, Milner at second, and Johnson at first. Ball 2 to Darby. Darby looking for something to drive right here. She had 14 home runs, 56 RBIs, 30 walks, or 20 walks rather. So Blair likes to put the ball in play. Power hitter. Also had 27 stolen bases, second on the team, and batted .279 for the Trojans. Just a freshman. Another big year coming ahead, and that walk will bring in a run, and Brewer will go around to score. And Darby will get the 3rd straight walk, and now the coach will come out and talk to Edmondson. So far gave up 3 walks, a single, 2 singles, and a sacrifice bunt to move Hecklinski over. Players drop back to their bases, and now coming up to the plate is Christy Wilson. Wilson, a sophomore infielder, 6 home runs, 51 RBIs, 18 walks, batted .377. Trojans would like to get a couple runs here off a single in the gap. You know, Darby at first with her speed. Extended. Get to third. Here's a pop-up. Shallow. Center fielder coming. The second baseman tried to make the catch. Darby will be out at second. But a little bit of miscommunication. It sat up there in the air. The second baseman had a hard time adjusting to it. Center fielder kind of backed off just a little bit, let up rather, coming in, and that one dropped down for a fielder's choice. Yes, and the run did score. I believe that was Milner came around to score. So Central Alabama takes the 3-0 lead. Here's a deep shot to right field. Going over to get it, making the catch is right fielder Morgan Dupree, and that'll be the third out. So 3 runs, 2 runners left on for the Trojans as we move to the top of the second. Back at Veterans Park, Alabaster. Jason Palmer bringing today's action on JockJive.com. Central Alabama Trojans lead Bevill State now as they got 3 runs in the bottom of the first to take the lead. And now batting for the Bears, Hartley Rice. It will be Rice, Black, and Dupree batting for the Bears. And now heading over to talk to their base coach is Rice. Irwin back in the circle for the Trojans. Ball 1, strike 1. Bevill State team batting average .326 on the season, .385 on base percentage as this one's fouled back. 1-2 count, .481 slugging percentage on the season. Rice, a freshman infielder for this Bears team. 2-2 count. That's that one just a little bit outside. Pitch foul back. Still 2-2. No outs here in the top of the second. Pitch hit right back up the middle, and the Bears will have their first runner off their first base hit by Hartley Rice. Now batting will be number 18, Skylar Black, the second baseman. Pitch hits outside corner for strike 1. Good first pitch there by Irwin. Another drive to center field. This one up against the wall, making the catch. Oh my goodness, that was Jaden Buff against the catch, and then gets the runner out at first. My goodness, what a play. Jordan Buff up against the wall, making the miraculous catch, and they got Rice trying to get back to first. Good relay over there to Milner for the second out. Tough break for the Bears as Black got just about all of that ball she wanted. Drove it over to the fence in right center. And Buff just used her speed. Never broke concentration on the ball and made the great catch up against the wall. Now batting is Morgan Dupree, the right fielder. And if you're the Bears, that's just heartbreaking. I mean, you're down 3-0 and got a little run going after the first three batters struggled a little bit. And then to get doubled up there. Dupree takes ball. He called a strike. Yes, sir. It was on the outside corner, a little bit outside there. As we both thought up here that had been a ball. Now strikes are out for out 3. So big inning for the defensive players for the Trojans as they get a double play and a strikeout. We'll be back for the bottom of the second when we return. Central Alabama up 3-0. Back at Veterans Park, Jason Palman here. Text me at 256-310-5673 if you'd like to give one of the players a shout out. All these games will be archived on JockJive.com. You can always go back and watch these after the fact if you can't catch us live. If you're here at the park and want to go back and watch the games, perfect way to do that is Robert Williamson and company do a great job with JockJive.com all over the Southeast, broadcasting games of all kinds, basketball, volleyball, football, baseball, softball, just everywhere, every week it seems like, especially during the summertime. It's busy time for JockJive, so you can always find something entertaining to watch on JockJive.com. I'm batting is Gracie Mills. Gracie will take this pitch. It'll be ball 3. Edmondson struggled in the bottom of the first, giving up 3 straight walks. And gave up 3 runs as leadoff batter this inning, Gracie Mills, draws a walk to start the second in, or the bottom of second off. Back at top of the order we go for the Trojans. Campbell Hecklinski, the catcher who scored in the first inning. She's got a runner at first in Mills. Ball 1. down the middle. Strike one. Good looking pitch, just a little bit low for ball 2, 2-1. Trojans looking to add to that lead here in the second inning. The number 1 seed coming into the tournament. Led the conference with a 28-4 record, just dominated through the course of the regular season. For Region 22, and that one low on the outside, but called strike. Full count now for Hecklinski, leadoff batter. Trojans want to get her on with her speed whenever possible. Here's a drive to right center. It'll fall for a single, now double. Coming around to score will be Wilson. The throw to third, not in time, goes over her head. And staying at third will be Hecklinski with a triple. Driving in Mills for the score. Hecklinski with a nice hit, about 10 feet short of the wall. Warning track area. Was able to use that speed to get over to third. The throw to third went over her head, but coach held her at third. One the count to Buff. Buff, who had that beautiful catch in center field to curtail the Bears rally a little bit there in the top of the second. She'll take strike 2. Still no outs here in the bottom of the second. Buff wanting to put one in play on the ground as she tries to scoop one past the third baseman, and it goes foul. 1-2 count. Buff's main job here is 2 things: not to strike out and not to pop up to the infield where Hecklinski can score. The pitch drove over to third, caught there by the third baseman, making a beautiful catch. There's number 34, Bailey Webb, for the first out. Good idea by Buff, but just got under it just enough where Webb was able to get a glove down there to catch that thing. Tough break for Buff. First pitch to Brewer goes foul. Brewer scored or drove in the first run of the game. She's been pretty consistent at that. Led the team by a wide margin in RBIs with 87. Now she's got number 88 as she drives Hecklinski home. And that'll be our second out of the inning. Add one on the scoreboard for Central Alabama. So with 2 outs now, coming to the plate will be Brooke Milner. .88 RBIs now on the season for Brewer. That's just astounding. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Another one fouled off for Milner. Milner, sophomore infielder. 46 walks on the season to lead this Trojan team. 386 batting average. Fouls another one off. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Our next game here on this field at 4:30 will be St. John's River and Wallace Dothan coming up at 4:30. This time Milner fouls one off on the right side over the first base dugout. This pitch inside for ball 3. Full count now for Milner. Edmondson looking for a first strikeout of the game. Pitch. Drove right to shortstop for out number 3. But the Trojans get one and leave one stranded as we head to the top of the 3rd when we return. We're back here at Veterans Park. Jason Palman, JockJive.com. As Bevill State coming to play, trailing 4-0 now. As we are about ready to start the 3rd inning, get it underway. Coming up to plate will be Kayla Butler, the left fielder. Her first bat of the game. Bevill State had a 15-11 home record, 18-9 on the road, 33-20 overall. Had 36 home runs on the season for the Bears. Ball 1, strike 1 as we start this 3rd inning. Called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2 is that ball, rise ball a little bit high. Outside, ball 3, full count now to Butler. Pitch just a tad high as Butler will draw the walk and trot down to first. Next up will be Rachel Whitmire, the center fielder. So the Bears will get their second base runner on board. Stealing first pitch and safe is Butler. So Butler now in scoring position. No outs. Whitmer at the plate with a 1-0 count. Whitmer pulled that one back the last second. I'm going to try to. Yeah, and it was a called strike. This one a little bit outside. 2-1 count. Another one outside. 3-1 count. Now will Whitmer take? Or will she try to put something in play to advance? Butler over to third. Here's the pitch. Yeah. A little bit outside, called strike. Full count now to Whitmer. Pitch down the middle, a little bit up for a walk, and that'll get runners at first and second for the Bears. Allison Bates, the catcher, up to bat for the Bears. First pitch foul back, strike one. Still no outs as the first two batters of the inning are standing on the bases with walks. As Irwin showing a little bit of signs of not being able to find the strike zone here. That ball fouled for strike two. Just got over the line. See Miss Pritchett here from Mumford taking pictures here. We'll see her just about everywhere you go taking pictures, and that called strike has kind of caught Bates asleep there. Big strikeout for Irwin. There's runners at first and second now. One out. There's a shot into left center. Runner will come around and score. And checking up at second is Whitmer. So runners at first and second. And coming around to score was Keaton for the first run, or getting the RBI is Keaton. Coming around to score was Butler for the first run of the game for Bevill State Bears. And now batting number 31, Caitlin Chappell, the first baseman, who popped up in the first inning. Ball one. Full one is our score. 5-1 rather, apologize. Coming out to talk to Irwin is Hecklinski, trying to calm her down just a little bit as Hecklinski gave up 2 walks to start this inning, got the strikeout on Bates, and then Keaton came up with the RBI single, moving Whitmer over to second. And now 2-1 count with 1 out. That one's hit foul. 2-2 count now. Pitch drove into right center. Going over there to get his right fielder. Whitmer checks up at second. Irwin induced the pop out. That was Blair Darby over there to make the catch. Next up is Bailey Webb, the third baseman. Hit a chopper to third for the first out of the ball game. We had the strikeout of Bates and then a pop out, and now Bates another strikeout for Irwin as he strikes out Webb. Your score now 5-1 as the Bears get one, leave 2 stranded as we head to the bottom of the third when we return. Now batting for the Trojans, number 8, Kelby Johnson, the third baseman, who got a walk in the first inning. Takes ball 2 out, or they call that one strikes. Ball 1, strike 1, no outs here in the bottom of the third. Bevill State was able to get 1 run in the top of the third. Here's a shot back up the middle. Now pitching is number 21 for Bevill State. There's a little dribble to third. The throw to second is in time. Gets Johnson for the first out. Now batting, that was Blair Darby that reached on the fielder's choice. Now here's Christy Wilson, the designated player, who popped up in the first inning for the second out in the first inning. Fouls this one off on the right side. There's a pop-up to right field and just goes foul as diving over there was second baseman Skylar Black trying to get to it. And slides on that turf a little bit. One-two count, one out here in the bottom of third. Here's Wilson. Another foul over to the right side, just past the first baseman. Darby at first base with one out. Fouls another pitch off. This time over left field foul line. Central Alabama has scored 472 runs and looking to make it 477 as Blair comes around to score as Wilson gets all of that one, drives it over center field fence for the home run. 2-run shot for Wilson. Big blast, and it scores Darby. Makes it 7-1 now. Aikman up to bat now with one out. Ball one. Aikman popped up for the third out in the first inning. Sophomore infielder. 27 RBIs, 27 walks. Batted .280 for this Trojans team. The Trojans kind of flexing their muscles a little bit, coming in as the #1 seed and taking a 7-1 lead off the 2-run blast by Wilson. 2-1 count now to Aikman. Ball outside. Ball 3. Full count now to Ackerman. Slapped over to first, foul. Ball low for the walk as Ackerman will get on base for the first time of the game. Next up will be Gracie Mills, who got walked in the second inning, came around to score off of the triple by Hecklinski. And the lefty will come up to the plate with Ackerman at first. One out. Already had the home run by Wilson to get us 2 runs in this inning for the Trojans. She'll take strike 1. Ball one, strike one, one out. Runner at first. And umpire going to call over the coach for Bevill State and talk to him about something here. Pitch outside in the dirt. Two one count. Wilson shows bunt. Low, ball three. 3-1 count now. Gotta think Wilson got the green light to swing away right here. She takes. And it'll be a strike. 3-2 count now. Edmondson goes to the Rosenbach. And we got a ball on the field from the field to our left. Showing bunt. Lays one down. Beautiful bunt. Racing to first. And able to get the out at first. Ackerman will advance to second on the sacrifice. Nice bunt as it laid down about 8-10 feet off of home plate. They'll be out two. Now coming back to the plate is Hecklinski, who's had a heck of a day so far, as you would say, as she had a triple in her last at-bat that drove a run in. She also scored. She scored in the first, had a stolen base in the first. Two-0 count now to Hecklinski with two outs. 7-1 is our score. As the Trojans got three in the first, two in the second. And looking to add another one here is Hecklinski looking to stay hot as that ball outside. That's a strike. It was a strike. He's definitely giving Edmondson that outside pitch on the outside corner. 2-1 count now. Another one outside, this one low. 3-1. Three-two count is another one outside low. This one called for strike. Hecklinski he's swinging away here. This one, little chopper to second, throw over to first. Gets her in time for the third out. So we'll head to the top of the fourth when we come back. 7-1 is our score. Central Alabama on top. We're back here at Alabaster Park. That must have been 2 outs as now, or a ball as Hecklinski's at first. So it had to have been a walk. We saw the umpire ring her up, and we thought that was the 3rd out. I guess not. Now batting Jaden Buff, the center fielder, had a sacrifice bunt in the 1st inning, popped up in the 2nd inning for out 1, and now she'll come to plate with 2 outs, runners at 1st and 2nd. Ball outside. Ball 2, strike 1, 2 outs. Or 1-2 rather. This one gets away from Bates, but able to corral it before Ackerman took off to 3rd. Pitch. Foul off. 2-2 count now. The pitch a little bit high and inside. Ball 3, full count. Central Alabama has done a good job getting in full count situations here, causing Edmondson to throw a lot of pitches. This one slapped over to left field, just goes foul. That would have scored 2 runs. Good idea by Buff there. And she'll try again. Had some thunderstorms, rain this morning that pushed everything back a little bit, but, you know, thanks to the city of Alabaster, got these turf fields and saved a lot of work for a lot of people as that one just went foul as Buff trying to go to that left side once again. Trying to get 5-6 fields ready after a big rainstorm and for a tournament is mighty tough to do, and this turf really helped out a lot. There's a big strikeout for Edmondson to end the inning. Your score 7-1 as we head to the top of the 4th when we come back. Okay.
It's too hard to move innings back.
Right.
I was like, screw it. I just had to deal with it.
Yep.
So, did you live in Alabaster? Or just played down here?
We're back here at Veterans Park in Alabaster as we didn't get official ruling on that, what happened with Hecklinski in that last inning, but we kind of have a good idea of what happened. It had to be catcher's interference, and Hecklinski was awarded the base at first, but needless to say, didn't anything happen there as the Trojans still leading 7-1. And now coming to the plate for the Bevill State Bears Alia Keaton. Back on in the circle is Hardy Irwin for the Trojans. Check that, that's Hartley Rice that is batting. She's the number 4 batter, the shortstop. She wears number 9. Ball 1, strike 1 to Rice. Rice was the victim of that double play, of that beautiful catch by Buff in center field, and then doubled up Rice as she tried to get back to first in that second inning. She fouls this one off. 1-2 count. Very well could be the web gem of the game, or backbreaker play of the game, if you will, for Bevill State, as Black really got a hold of that one and hit it up against the fence, and Buff went back and got that one. 1-2 count to Rice. This one hit down third base line and goes foul. Rice led off the second inning, now leads off the fourth. This one hit towards third, bobbles a little bit. Now the throw over, not in time, as Rice safe at first. Our official score, I think, will count that one as an error on third baseman Kelby Johnson. Now coming to the plate will be Skylar Black, rather. And she hits one to left field. It drops for a single, so runners at first and second, no outs here in the top of the fourth for the Bevill State Bears. Can they make a little run right here? We shall see. Next up, right fielder Morgan Dupree, who struck out in the second inning. Here's the pitch. This one foul back. Pitch inside, chopper over to first. Looking to throw over to third, but getting over there in time was Rice. So runners now at second and third with one out. And Dupree did her job and moved the runners over. Next up will be Kayla Butler, the left fielder, who scored the lone run for the Bears back in the last inning. She drew a walk and was able to score on the Keaton single. Fouls this one back for strike 1. Pitch on that outside corner for a strike. 0-2. Now 1-2 to Butler. Inside, jammed her a little bit. Roller to second. The throw to first in time for the first out of the inning. And the Bears add a run to the scoreboard, as coming in to score was Hartley Rice. So Butler did her job and sacrificed and got the runner in. The coach for Bevill State wanted an explanation about the out at first. He thought she was safe. They're having a conversation there about along the first base line. The coach is going over to the dugout. The umpires are getting together here. And coach comes back out of the dugout.
Might have got thrown out of the game. I don't know.
They're still conversing there, and we're not sure what happened. So 2 outs. Bevill State able to get the second run. Okay, we do have a pinch hitter up to play. That's number 35. She'll be batting for Whitmer. So that's probably what a lot of that conversation was about. This is Maddie Blevins, freshman infielder, pinch hitting. She fouls this one back. Runner at third for the Bears with 2 outs and 1-2 count now to Blevins. This shot up the middle drives in a run, so Blevins does her job coming in to pinch hit, and it will score. Skylar Black. Makes it 7-3. Effective inning for the Bears, as now pinch running for Blevins. We'll see if we can get another number, but Blevins will be pinch run for. And now coming up to plate should be Allison Bates, the catcher for Bevill State, and it is. Ball 1 to Bates. Here's a hit to second base for a pop out, the third out. And that's how we'll finish the 4th inning. Bevill State gets 2 runs, leaves 1 on. As we move to the bottom of the 4th, your score 7-3, Central Alabama on top. 21. Number 21 pitching now for Bevill State, trying to find her number or her name. That's Jessie Aston. Coming to plate for the Trojans is Brewer. Brewer had the RBI in the first inning that scored Hecklinski. Now hits a shot over to second. There to make the catch with Skylar Black for out one. Brooke Milner up to plate. Big swing from Milner as pitch inside. She definitely was trying to pull that one over in the trees over left field fence. Ball one, strike one, one out. Another pitch inside. She fouls this one off. Milner, sophomore infielder with 9 home runs, 56 RBIs, 46 walks on the season. Milner's been hit by pitch 12 times to lead the Trojans this season. Here's a hit to the left field. Single for Milner. Next up, Big Kelby Johnson, who walked in the first inning and got out in the third. Pitch inside, ball one. Ball one, strike one. She fouls this one off. Johnson has scored 64 runs for the Trojans this season, 12 doubles, 8 stolen bases for 431 average. Ball just gets away. Milner holds it first. 2-1 count. Central Alabama, located in Alex City, Alabama. Not too far from here. About 45-minute drive or so. Down 280. Here's a shot to third base to throw over to first. Gets her in time. Big double play there by the third baseman, Bailey Webb, who alertly rifled it back to first and doubled up the Trojans. So we're headed to the top of the fifth when we come back. Your score 7-3, Central Alabama. We back at the top. Back at the top for the Bevill State Bears. Aaliyah Keaton will lead the 5th inning off. Back in the circle for the Trojans, Hardy Irwin, who's a freshman pitcher. Irwin, before this game started, had 104 innings pitched. Second to Jenna Castleberry, who we think will start in game 2 if the Trojans do go on and win this one. Irwin's record 12-4 on the season. Has a 2.82 ERA to lead the pitching staff for the Trojans. So coach feels mighty comfortable with Irvin in the circle in this game 1. Ball 1 to Keaton. Ball outside. Drive foul over on the left side, and somebody tried to catch it with their umbrella. Surprised it didn't warp it up and demolish it. They stuck it up to keep it from hitting them in the top of the head. Fouls this one off down the right side. 2-2 is the count. Irwin gave up 2 runs in that last inning. Now gets a shot, come back right to her. She throws over to first for the first out of the inning. Caitlin Chappell up to bat. The first baseman popped up in the first and popped up in the third. And now another pop up, but this one will fall. Trouble as coming over, trying to catch it and sling it to Milner was Ackerman and couldn't make the play, so safe at first is Chappell. Next up will be Bailey Webb. Webb, the third baseman for this Bears team, struck out in her last at bat in the third and hitting to the 5-3 play as she lines one out into left center, and they'll drop for a single. So Bevill State gets 2 runners on board with 1 out. And now coming to plate will be Hartley Rice. Rice, a victim of that double play in the second inning, comes around to score in the third inning to get Bevill State's first or their second run on board. Hits the first pitch foul here. 1 out now, runners at first and second for Bevill State. This pitch inside, fouled off. Rice would like to have that one back. Kind of jammed her a little bit, and I'm not sure if that didn't hit her on the hands, as she's struggling a little bit right now. Either on the hand or maybe fouled off her leg, one of the two, but she's in some pain right now and comes over and talks to third base coach. May have fouled that one off her leg. That had to hurt as the ball ricocheted pretty hard. She's going to hang in there. She's got 2 strikes now, 1 out. Runner in scoring position is Chappell at second and Webb's at first. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and pulls this one foul over into the next field to our left, field 2. field 2 is this one lined into left field for a base hit. Coming around to score is Chappell. And the Bevill State Bears add another one to the board. 7-4 is your score. And that took some guts by Rice as she fouled that one off her leg on the pitch before. Took some time, regrouped, and lined that one into left field for the RBI. Webb held at second. So you got Rice at first, Webb at second. Now coming to plate is Skylar Black, who scored a run also in that third inning. Ball 1, strike 1, 1 out. Runners at first and second. Score now 7-4. Bevill State battling, hanging in there here in this 5th inning. Got 2 runs in the 4th. And now a run in the 5th. The Trojans haven't scored since the 3rd. 1 out here. Ball outside. Ball 2. Pitch hit towards right field. Darby's there, looking to make the throw to third. It's a good throw, but sliding in there in time is Bailey Webb, and advancing to second was Rice. So Black done her job and advanced the runners, and now coming to plate will be Morgan Dupree, the right fielder. Meeting down the third baseline for Bevill State Bears brings the runners and the batter in. Dupree going to get the call from the coach of what he wants her to do. Two outs now. 7-4 is your score. Morgan Dupree at the plate. Struck out in the second. And hitting 5-3. Shot over to third for the first out in the 4th. She's got a 1-1 count with 2 outs now. Runners at second and third. Bevill State looking to add some more runs here in this 5th. Pitch high and inside. 3-1 count. Another one high and inside. This time she fouls it back. Pitch on that outside corner for strike 3, out 3. And the Trojans get out of the inning. Bevill gets 1 run, leaves 2 stranded, and we're headed to the bottom of the 5th when we come back.
does? What do you do?
I've got a landscaping company. I really had need that. They allowed me to quit, so I needed that.
No, I put a Caterpillar lock.
We're back here at Alabaster Park, or Alabaster, Alabama, rather, Veterans Park. The recently renovated Veterans Park, all new turf fields here. And the park just looks amazing. As now coming to the plate is Blair Darby, the right fielder for the Trojans, who walked in the first. And it'll come back here to the pitcher in the third. The Trojans haven't scored since the third. Lead Bevill 7-4. And Darby looking to get on to lead this first. Lead the Trojans. Here's a shot to center field, or right center rather. And making the sliding catch over there was Rachel Whitmore. Good idea by Darby. Center fielder made a great catch there, and now coming to plate is Wilson, who hit the home run her last at bat. Hit a deep shot to center field. Darby was on to score the 6th and 7th run for these Trojans. Wilson had 6 home runs during the regular season, 51 RBIs, 18 walks, 377 average. To give the Trojans a couple insurance runs, but Bevill State has answered back. They've had 2 in the third, or 2 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. In the circle for the Bears now, Jesse Asta. Grounder to shortstop. Throw over in time. Gets Wilson for the second out. Next up is Kaylee Ackerman, who popped up for the third out in the first inning, walked in the third, and now looks to get on with 2 outs here in the fifth. Fouls first pitch off. Ball 1 low. Ball inside. Ball 2. Aston really has kept these Trojans at bay the last couple innings. Here's a deep shot to right field, trying to go over there to get it. Can't make the catch. And Ackerman standing on second with a double with 2 outs. That was Dupree over there trying to get there to make that catch. Just couldn't get there in time. Now coming to play is number 50, Gracie Mills. And a walk and scored a run in the second inning. Had a sacrifice bunt in the third inning. And now it's got Ackerman standing at second. Wilson looking to drive her in. hit in the 5-6 hole. Coming around to score, to throw from left field, not in time as Ackerman, using her speed, didn't check up at third. Thought she would as the ball was hit kind of shallow in left field. Making the throw from left field was Kayla Butler, but it couldn't get Ackerman in time. She comes around and scores the 8th run for the Trojans. Mills done her job and advanced to second on the throw. Big run for the Trojans as Bevill State has mounted a small comeback a little bit. 2 runs in the 4th and 2 in the 5th, and Trojans finally answer back. Back at the top of the order for Hecklinski, who reached on what we think was the catcher's interference her last at bat. Has already scored 2 runs. This time hits a shot, gets by the second baseman. Coming around to score is Wilson. Trying to get to second is Hecklinski. Wilson scores, makes it 9-4 now. Nice piece of hitting by Hecklinski. And pitching change now for Bevill State Bears. And we'll get her number in just a minute. So Al Austin all done for the Bears. Number 6 comes in for Bevill State. That's Holly Graham. The 3rd pitcher used for Bevill State this game. Now coming to plate for the Trojans, second batter, number 28, Jaden Buff, the center fielder. Buff had a sacrifice bunt in the 1st inning and popped up in the 2nd and 3rd inning. And now comes to the plate here in the 5th. Hecklinski at second. Got there by the double that scored Mills. Graham, the 3rd pitcher for the Bevill State Bears. 3-1 count. Now to Buff. Pitch outside. Walks her. So runners now at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. And coming up to the plate is Morgan Brewer, who had the RBI in the 1st, sacrifice in the 2nd, and flew out to right field in the 4th inning. Brewer really good in this situation. 88 RBIs on the season for Brewer. This time fouls it back. 1-1 is the count. The pitch, another one fouled off. This time on top of the third base dugout. A lot of fans now coming in. A little bit late start today. We're able to get everything underway as the park staff done a nice job of cleaning everything up after the storm we had this morning. Here's a strikeout to end the inning, but the Trojans get two, leave two on as we move to the bottom, or the top of the sixth rather, when we return.
Appreciate that, Danny. You can't update your number.
Now batting as we head to the top of the sixth. Number 5, Caleb Butler, who had an RBI in the fourth inning, scored a run in the third for this Bevill State team. Bevill State trailing 9-4 as we end this top of the sixth. First pitch called strike. Hardy Irwin still in the circle for Central Alabama. Throws one inside. Swung on strike two. 0-2 count. That pitch kind of cut inside there late. Irwin goes outside for ball one. Two count. Central Alabama looking to advance and play the winner of game 2, which is going on now on field 4 between South Florida and Bishop State. Another one fouled back by Butler. That game will be at 7 o'clock right here on field 1. So make sure you tune back in at 7 o'clock for that game. Right now, Central Alabama leading 9-4, looking to advance to that game. Pitch swung on a miss for the first out of the inning. Big strikeout. Now pitching for the Trojans, Laney Varner. Rachel Whitmer lifts one over into left field, and she'll be standing at first. Next up will be Allison Bates, the catcher. Coach looking to make a change here as he may be pinch hitting for the catcher, and he'll walk all the way from third base to the dugout. Kind of unusual to see the coach do that. This is his second or third time walking all the way over to make a change, and of course he's allowed to do that. It's just kind of different. Gives him a chance, I guess, to talk to the batter, and we'll get this batter's number here in just a second. I believe that's number 7 for Bevill State, Kinley Mahaffey. She's a freshman outfielder, and she'll come in and bat for Bates. Run at first is Whitmer. Butler led off the inning or struck out to lead off the inning. Caffey 1-1 count, fouls this one back. 1-2, 1 out. This one slap foul. Bevill State has scored in their last 3 innings. Trojan answered in a big way in the fifth inning. Here's a hit over to shortstop. She throws it second for the second out. Mahaffey at first. Whitmer out on the fielder's choice. We may have another pinch hitter here for the Bears. Well, we got a pinch runner at first. Keaton back at the plate to lead off. The leadoff batter for the Bears with 2 outs now. A runner at first. 1-0 count. Pitch outside. 2-0. Called it a strike on that outside corner. Kind of delayed strike signal. It is 1-1. Here's the pitch. This one pulled over to the right side for the third out. So Bevill State leaves one stranded as we head to the bottom of the 6th when we return. Your score 9-4. Milner fouls this one back right on top of the press box. As we are in the bottom of the sixth, your score 9-4, Central Alabama. Trojans on top, looking to advance to game number 7 at 7 o'clock tonight. They will play the game 2 winner, which is over to our right, South Florida and Bishop State. Milner, the first baseman, walked in the first inning, flew out in the second, pops this one up to second baseman for the first out. Next up is Kelby Johnson, walked in the first, got out in the third, and got out in a double play in the third. This one foul back. The pitch called strike. 0-2 count. Swung on, missed, strikeout. As Graham gets the leadoff batter in the inning to strike out. Next up, we Blair Darby, who walked in the first, scored by way of the home run by Wilson in the third, and popped up in the fifth. So 2 outs now for the Trojans. Darby, 14 home runs on the season from Mumford, Alabama. Takes the pitch outside for strike 2. 0-2 now to Darby with 2 outs. That one called strike for out 3 as we head to the top of the 7th. When we return, Bevill State got one more chance at it. Be back shortly here on JockJive.com. Back here at Alabaster Park, Central Alabama leads 9-4 as we head to the top of the 2nd. Now batting for Bevill State Bears, number 31, Caitlin Chappell, the first baseman, popped up in the first and the third, scored a run in the 5th. Swings and missed for strike 2. Back in the circle for the Trojans, Lanny Varner. Varner has appeared in 11 games, 3-1 record, had 2 complete games, and has a 5.31 ERA. Looking to close it out here in our first game of the Division II South District Championship as she strikes out Chapel. Next up is Bailey Webb, the third baseman, who hit in the 5-3 for the third out of the first inning. Struck out in the third. Had a single in the fifth, and now in the seventh has a single. Hartley Rice has had an eventful day here for the Bears. Had a single in the second, got out on the double play, scored a run in the fourth, and had an RBI in the fifth. Fouls it back for strike one, 1 out. After the conclusion of this game, it'll be about a 30-minute break in between this game and our 4 o'clock game, or 4:30 game rather. St. John's River versus Wallace Dothan. That'll be game number 3, and we'll have other scores for you when we come back on the air. Unless a disaster happens, Central Alabama will go on in advance to the 7 o'clock game tonight. The loser of this game will play at 7 o'clock tonight as well on field number 2. Here's a pitch, called strike. 1-2 is the count with 1 out. Pitch, grounded to short, flipped over to second, to throw to first, not in time. So Rice will be safe at first. Webb out at second for the second out of the inning. Now coming back is Skylar Black, the second baseman. Lined out in the first, or in the second inning. Scored a run in the fourth and popped out in the fifth. It's a pitch, low, ball 1. Double elimination tournament. The throw over to second is in time, and Central Alabama goes on to win 9-4. Congratulations to the Trojans. Had 2 pitcher Hardy, Irwin, and Lanny Varner that did a masterful job for the Trojans, and Bevill State will drop down and play in the 7 o'clock game against the game number 2 loser. Central Alabama, of course, will advance to the next round and play at 7 o'clock right here, same channel. Be sure to join us for that game. Our next game, next broadcast will be in about 30 minutes between St. John's River and Wallace Dothan. Be sure to check back with us here in about 30 minutes. I'm Jason Palmer saying so long. Have a good afternoon. Hope to see you or hear from you again shortly. 9-4, your final score.